It's A+ mock draft time for the reigning and defending Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs. Look, I did it when my Bucks won. I got to do it for the Kansas City Chiefs, too. This team is dynasty bound. And what can they add in this upcoming draft to make them even more scary?
Well, I am a big proponent of when somebody tells you what they're going to do, you should probably listen. So with their first-round pick at number 31, Zay Flowers, wide receiver out of Boston College. Tell you a little story about Zay. He was done. The visits, it was all done. Kansas City called him and said, get here today. That was last night.
Wow.
That tells me that a little birdie has told them that Zay Flowers could fall to them. And I have heard the exact same thing. And if he does, he is not falling past them. This is your Tyreek Hill replacement. And now, look, the offense obviously ran just fine without him, but it works a hell of a lot better when you've got a bulldog like this. Size limitations, yeah, I mean, he's only 5'9". I don't care. Plays on the outside. He's not just a slot guy. He's one of my favorite players in this draft.
Yep.
I mean, hell, you can attest to this. I've been talking about this kid for, it feels like 10 years.
It's a way to add to the speed package that Kansas City likes to roll out there for Patrick Mahomes.
And he is really, really good at that. It just plays with a real physical aggression that I like out of a player his size.
In the second round, pick number 63, how about a tackle? Jaelyn Duncan from Maryland.
It's another guy they brought in for a top 30 visit. I have said a smart team is going to take him. He had one really bad tape because he is a little raw. He also had a shitload of good tape. And it's not often that you see a guy that's this big, this athletic, that's getting pushed down the board. And I'm just going to say it again. A smart team is going to pick him up, and I feel like Kansas City is the perfect one because they can put him on the right side. You can even be patient with him for a year if you wanted to. I don't think you have to. I think you can play right away. Put him on the right side. You've got such a good offensive line anyway, and this just adds another athletic piece. I love Jaelyn Duncan. I don't give a damn what people say. That's one that I would be banging the table for if I was a scout in this league.
Number 95 in the third round, Noah Sewell, linebacker from Oregon.
I am not as high on him as others. I feel like the tape, the biggest problem with him is that he didn't take a step forward last year, and that has really hurt him. And now people are looking at him going, what is it that you do really, really well? And then when I see a player like that, I start going, okay, who has made guys like this work in the past? Because nobody doubts the heart, nobody doubts the motor, nobody doubts any of those things. It's just physical limitations. Who have I seen do great things with physically limited linebackers? Andy Reid, Steve Spagnuolo. So I think here he's actually – you're getting into sheer value because I think he has one of the safest floors in this class. I just don't know that he has tremendous high side, but he's another player that can come in and contribute for you right away.
2 picks in the fourth round for the Kansas City Chiefs, 122 overall. Jose Martinez.
Ramirez.
Or, excuse me, Jose – I'm in baseball mode, I guess.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess.
Jose Ramirez, edge rusher out of Eastern Michigan.
Situational pass rusher. He is never going to give you jack shit against the run. But in the last 2 years, 31.5 tackles for loss, 18.5 sacks. And he has annihilated competition. Now, I do have to mention he played at Eastern Michigan. So your level of competition is not quite as high. I feel like he comes in, and there's been a lot of mocking of Will McDonald to Kansas City with the 31st pick. Jose Ramirez is a poor man's version of Will McDonald. And at 6'2", 240, he's damn near the exact same size. I'm not sure he's not every bit as good a pass rusher. I'm just afraid that's all he'll ever be able to do. You bring him in on third down and just tell him, see ball, get ball.
134 overall, second pick in the fourth round. Broderic Martin, defensive tackle from Western Kentucky.
He's been real popular over the draft process. I feel like he needs to have somebody next to him that is like Chris Jones. He's never going to be the best defensive tackle on your team. Comes in at 337 pounds. He's a motherfucking house.
Yep.
You're just going to have to be patient. A lot of people think he's good, that his only spot in the NFL is as a true nose. That's not what I see.
Okay.
Because that's not what he does. He is a space eater. He's not a space stuffer. There's a big damn difference in those two. People see a guy that's this size and go, well, he can't do anything else. No, he can, and he's got really good upper body strength. So you give me somebody like Chris Jones that takes attention away from him, and now he can just go through one guard. He can be very impactful. And there's a reason that he has talked to damn near every smart team in this league. I don't think that's an accident by any stretch of the imagination.
In the 5th round, they pick at 166, Lonnie Phelps, edge rusher from Kansas.
This is a guy Kansas City's had interest in throughout the entire process. Another situational pass rusher. I'm just stacking up guys and seeing what hits. 6'2", 244 pounds. Are you starting to see a trend? 4.55 speed. He's raw. I think he's best built either in a wide 9 or standing up in a 3-4. I've just never seen him do it. And then it's the positional drills at the combine were not overly impressive. And so now I'm getting to that point of, all right, he's a situational pass rusher too. You get him and Jose Ramirez. Am I telling you that either one of them is ever going to be a star? No. But they could have that Jacob Martin type role where this is all you do.
Yeah.
And we just interchange you. You never play more than 20, 25 snaps a game. But my pass rush is now really formidable.
Yeah, Steve Spagnuolo, known for being able to throw out different looks and different packages with guys. So it would make sense that he has all of the pieces that he could use
and don't
to
be shocked,
improve the pass rush.
And don't be shocked if he found some way to slide Jose Ramirez to the inside in pass rush situations.
Right.
Very obvious pass rush situation.
178 overall, the first of 2 picks in the 6th round for Kansas City. Daniel Scott, safety from Cal.
He's a player that you'll see in a good number of these mock drafts because he's been real popular through the process. And it's people just waxing poetic about the character. Super high character kid, really athletic, just needs some work and technique. Comes in as a special teams ace, I think, early. And then you hope he can round into form as I think he can be a starter in this league. It's just going to take you probably 2 years to get it out of him.
Also, 6th round pick here at 217, Jadon Hazelwood, wide receiver from Arkansas.
This was a really high-end recruit.
Yeah. Went to Oklahoma originally,
he did.
Right?
Did, transferred to Arkansas, 6'2", 215, not crazy fast, just a big possession guy. And I think if you know what you're getting going in, you're going to have to work with him on some technique because this is one of those kids that's the definition of he's been the best player on every field he ever played on, and he never really improved. He never worked on the technique because he didn't have to. He was just a fucking monster coming out. And I'm going to use a Lance Zierlein line here. He was a 5-star recruit that never gave you 5-star production. Now, is that because he never really fit in any of the offenses he played in? Maybe.
Yeah.
It's entirely possible because he doesn't really fit that up-tempo Oklahoma offense that they played under Lincoln Riley. Think about the receivers that have come out of there. And not many of them are big possession guys. Drake London was, but that was at USC before he got to Oklahoma, and there's a reason that he came out as soon as Lincoln Riley got the job. They don't fit here. So I think a good coach could get more out of him. I don't know that he's ever more than a wide receiver 5, but I've seen Kansas City just take these lottery tickets, throw darts at a board, and go, well, one of you will work out.
All right, maybe some lottery tickets here in the 7th round, 249 and 250 back-to-back. At 249, Cooper Hodges, tackle from App State.
This is one of those blue-collar he kind of looks like Luke Combs. If Luke Combs and I had a brother, it would be Cooper Hodges. And, yes, I do see the irony that Luke Combs went to Appalachian State. Really raw. But he's just blue-collar, worked his ass off. He was a nothing recruit. Nobody talked to him. And he's become very good in the run game. It's been real popular. A lot of teams have wanted to talk to him, just get him in the building, figure out the football IQ, the work ethic, because that's going to be his ticket. Physical gifts are not something that you look at him and I can't pinpoint one thing that he does so well other than just work his ass off. And at 6'4", 311, there's a position for you in the league. Might be as a depth piece, and you may never be more than that, but you certainly have a role as that.
The final pick for the draft for the Kansas City Chiefs comes at 250 overall. Cornerback out of Western Kentucky, Khalef Hallassie?
Yep.
Nailed it.
You got that one right. He's been on a lot of visits. And one of the reasons I wanted to put him in here is that one of the teams that's been the hottest on him has been Kansas City. There's not a lot out there on him. The limited amount of tape that I've seen, he's not crazy fast and he's thin. But he's another one that works his ass off. And he's really sticky in coverage until he comes up against the guy that just blows his doors off. When he sees one of those 4-3-5 receivers, he should go sit down. Or go to the other side and defend somebody that's not just going to run by him. But he's very fluid for what he is. Might be better playing zone. I just didn't see him do that very often, so it's kind of hard to project. You do have physical limitations, and that's the reason that you're going to get him here at 250.
All right, A+ mock draft for the Kansas City Chiefs. Just it's a constant just churn and reload.
Oh, yeah.
For this team.
Well, this is the same thing with Philadelphia. Your team is now so expensive that you're having to look a year ahead. I mean, in terms of, I feel like in this class you would get a handful of guys, just like you did in the last class. Do they offer you anything early? Zay Flowers would. I think Jaelyn Duncan would. But then as the season goes along and injuries start to happen, you've had these guys in the system. They really learn their role. And by the time you get to the playoffs, somebody like Joshua Williams that we talked about last year out of Fayetteville State, he has a role. And he makes a big play in the playoffs because that's what Kansas City does. If you like these picks, if you hate these picks, feel free to throw that in the comments. I answer all of those. We'll have one more mock draft, 7 rounds. That is my projection for how the 2023 draft will go. So no double ups on players, no Daniel Scott, who's now been in 4 of these. None of that. This is how I think it goes. And we'll be live for every pick of the 2023 NFL draft right here on YouTube.
Tap that thumb button, like the video, subscribe to the channel, share it out with your friends as well. We will cover all of the picks of the draft live right here in the Sportsocracy.